What's up, guys? I'm James from Midwest Protocol, and in today's video, we're going to be covering the two new great Nates. They're coming to the game. Marvel Crisis Protocol, Atomic Mass Games just announced, just revealed all the stats, all the cards for Iron Lad and Kang the Conqueror, the two Nates. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with Iron Lad. Nathaniel Richards, he's a 3 threat with a 4-3-3 stat line with 6 health on the front and 6 health on the back. He's size 2 with a medium move and he has flight. All right, so already, right off the bat, a lot of things that are nice about a 3 threat in his stat line, and has a lot of things in our kit that are gonna be really cool about him. First off, let's look at his first attack, Concussion Blast. This is a range 3, 5 dice physical builder with a wild discombobulate. After this attack is resolved, for each wild in the attack roll, the defender gains one of the following special conditions: slow or stun. His second attack is going to be Energy Blast, very similar to Iron Man's attack. It is a range 4 dice energy attack gainer, and it has a wild push. After this attack is resolved, if the defender is size 3 or less, push it away short. And finally, his Spender, the once and future Iron Lad. For 3 power, it's a range 3, 7 dice energy attack that allows Iron Lad to re-roll any number of attack dice for this attack. Okay, now let's look at his superpowers. First off, we have Neurokinetic Armor. For 1 power, this character removes 1 wound or special condition from itself and can be used once per turn. For 1 power, a self-heal that either heals you or removes 1 condition. That's pretty sweet, especially on a 3 threat already with a 4-3-3 stat line and 6 health. Pretty good. He also has a throw strength actuators. For 2 power, choose an interactive terrain feature size 2 or less within 2 and throw it medium. It is a terrain throw, not a character throw, but for 2 power on a 3 threat model, that's pretty nice to be able to have that just generally at your leisure. Finally, he has a reactive superpower called Temporal Divergence. When this character is defending during the modify opponent's dice step of the attack, it may use this superpower. This character may reroll up to 2 of the attacker's dice, and this superpower can only be used once per turn. So another way for him to continue to be tanky and survive attacks from the opponent. Iron Lad is the exact same on the front and the back, no real changes to him at all. But overall, he's a pretty solid 3 threat that has a lot of versatility to be able to heal and stay alive and be tanky, but also help control the battlefield from range 4 by pushing characters away, which is pretty nice to see that. Okay, so we looked at the good Nathaniel Richards. Now let's look at the bad Nathaniel Richards, Kang the Conqueror. So Kang is vastly different, literally double the threat as Iron Lad. He's a 6 threat character with 3 physical defense, 4 energy, and 4 mystic. He has 7 health on the front and 7 health on the back. He is a size 2 character with a medium throw. He has a lot going for him in his kit, including a new leadership for the Cabal. Let's take a look at what he has to offer. Okay, now let's look at his first attack, 30th Century Arsenal. So this is a range 3, 6 dice energy builder. If the defender's within range 2, this character may reroll 1 in the attack roll. And on a wild, it has future tech. After this attack is resolved, the defender gains one of the following special conditions: Incinerate, Bleed, Hex, or Slow. All very good conditions to be tossing out from Kang. Next up, we have Neuroshock Field. This is an area 2, 6 dice energy attack for 3 power. After each attack is resolved, if wounds were dealt, the defender gains the shock and stun special conditions. And last but not least, the once and future Kang is a range 3, 9 dice energy attack for 6 power. And this character may reroll any number of its attack dice in the attack roll. It has a very similar attack profile that's just a little bit stronger and costs a little bit more than Iron Lad, but they can both reroll on this attack their big spender, which is pretty cool to see that. Now let's take a look at his superpowers before we dive into his leadership. First off, we have Anti-Gravity Device. For 3 power, Choose an interactive terrain feature size 3 or less within range 3 and throw it medium. This can be done once per turn. He also has temporal rewind. For 4 power, when this character is attacking or defending at the end of the modified dice step or after the temporal rewind superpower has been resolved, this character may use this superpower. The attacking and defending characters reroll all their attack and defense dice. Oh boy. Okay, so this is literally a recalibration matrix on a character, but he can also use it as much as he wants as long as he has the power to do it. So in theory, if he had 8 power, he could do this twice on a single attack, whether he's attacking or defending, which is pretty insane to think about that he can do that in himself. Finally, he has an innate superpower called Neurokinetic Chronal Armor. At the start of this character's activation, it may place itself within range 1 of its current position, remove up to 1 wound from itself, or remove up to 1 special condition from itself. This happens every round. So in theory, average games are probably 4 rounds. He can do this 4 times, either healing himself 3 times, presumably, because he won't need to do that round 1, most likely, or remove conditions up to 3 times, probably, or place himself 4 times over the course of the game, which is pretty nuts to see that. It's kind of a cool effect to see on a new character. Also, a part of the same superpower, it says, additionally, the first time each turn that this character rerolls dice, after the effect is resolved, it gains 1 power. So that is how he is generating more power per turn. He gets 1 additional power every time he just rerolls dice, whether he's a defending or attacking. Kang also has flight and that unique keyword, Peerless. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the new leadership for the Cabal called the Kang Dynasty. Once per turn, each allied character may reroll 1 die in its attack roll. Additionally, allied characters can modify and reroll score results while they are holding or contesting an objective token. Man, this leadership could be bonkers. It's basically Miles Morales' leadership, but offensively. It's the exact same effect, right? Because Miles is once per turn, each character can reroll 1 defense dice, and then if they are also holding or contesting an objective token, they can just modify and reroll score results, right? That is the exact same thing for Kang, but offensively. So it's really interesting to see it on a 6 threat character instead of a 3 threat character like Miles. However, I think because it's focused on offense and not defensive abilities, this could be worth the 6th threat, potentially. I think this opens up a lot of avenues within Cabal, especially because they already have a pretty key reroller in their affiliation with Baron Zemo. So you can already do a potential double bubble, if you will, with Kang and also Baron Zemo, but in general, Zemo just being next to anyone he wants rather than Kang and Zemo themselves having to be next to them, if that makes sense. On top of that, I think the ability to unlock skulls while you're contesting and holding an objective is massive for this new leadership for Cabal, because a lot of characters have innate rerolls or are gaining them as new models are coming out, and they would love to have their skulls unlocked. All that to say, Kang is a beast. He's going to be really interesting on the table, so hopefully the juice is worth the squeeze, if you will, and only time will tell. I think with all the things that Cabal already brings to the table, Kang could potentially take over as the new premier leader for Cabal over Red Skull 3, which is nice to see, but time will tell, and we'll see how that works out, especially with a new 6th threat leader. Okay, so let's look at the first Team Tactics card, and that is going to be Trust No One But Yourself. It's an unaffiliated card, and it's kind of nuts. So let's look at what it's all about. When this card is revealed during deployment, Nathaniel Richards may play it. This is almost certainly going to be Kang playing this, and that will become more apparent as we look at the card. Choose a round on the mission tracker without an allied time stream token on it. Put an allied time stream token on it, and return this card to your available Team Tactics cards during the first cleanup phase, and it may be played again this game. So what that means is round 1, after during deployment, you can play this card, right? And then you pick a round, you're predicting the future when you want to be utilizing this effect, right? So maybe you choose round 3, okay? Then at the end of the first cleanup phase, you get this card back into your set, okay? And then going forward, you can use it one more time, but it does not go back to your set. So you could choose round 3 and then maybe round 4, okay? So you're predicting the future. That's when you want to utilize it. That's what you're planning for, okay? All right, let's continue forward. During the power phase, you may remove an allied time stream token from the current round. So You predicted round 3, you get to that round, you pick up that token, it's gone. You're utilizing this effect now. If you do, one or more allied Nathaniel Richards may spend any number of power to play this card. It's interesting that they word it this way, that there's potentially going to be more Nathaniel Richards in the future. I just like that they've included that. This is very interesting to me. Yeah, so that's very intriguing. Okay, back to this. So you spend the power to play it. So round 3, maybe you choose to play, Kang decides to spend 6 power, okay? So choose an unused Nathaniel Richards from your roster with a threat value equal to or less than half the amount of power spent rounding down. So in this scenario, you spent 6 power, half of that is 3. What character is threat 3? Oh, wait, Iron Lad, another Nathaniel Richards. Here you go. Place the chosen character into play within range 1 of an allied Nathaniel Richards, and the chosen character gains power equal to the current round and is now part of your squad. And at the end of the activation phase, if an allied Nathaniel Richards was placed into play with this card, remove that character from the battlefield. So basically you get to bring in Iron Lad for a round, and then at the end of that round, he goes away. And then in the future, maybe round 4, round 5, he comes back out again if you pay the power, and then he gets to have another round in the game. Pretty cool power, pretty cool team tactics card, very intriguing. I'm super interested to see how people utilize this in the future, because I think this could be pretty nutty, especially if you are adding a character for a round can swing the game in a massive way. But I'm excited to see how that works out. Okay, let's look at the next card. All right, and then the last card is going to be Data Backup. This is an unaffiliated card. When an allied Vision would be KO'd, Iron Lad may spend 5 power to play this card. Vision is then not KO'd. He removes all wounds and special conditions from himself and drops all objectives he is holding. So this is kind of a unique card, and it's a throwback to a comic run. And also, I'm imagining this is also setting up for when Iron Lad and Vision are both in the Young Avengers affiliation when that comes. Potentially, I imagine they'll both be in the Young Avengers. But this is kind of interesting, right? It allows Iron Lad to heal up Vision and keep him on the battlefield even longer, which is pretty cool to see that, and basically allows him to kind of turn back time and bring back Vision, if you will. Well, there you have it, guys. That was Iron Lad and Kang. Man, these two characters are so interesting. They have a lot of similarities about them, but just wild differences as well. Obviously, one is a 6 threat and one is a 3 threat. That's massive, right? But in general, it is pretty cool to see a 6 threat with some unique abilities on his card, essentially a recalibration matrix at will whenever he's attacking or defending. Just pretty cool to see that. I love seeing that. But I'm also very intrigued by this leadership. I think this leadership is very good. I'm just hoping that it being on the shell of a 6 threat is worth it, especially for Cabal. So I'm very excited to see that and get tested on that and see it played. I'm also very excited about the Team Tactics card, Trust No One But Yourself. I think that's a really fun card. It'll be really thematic, but also could have some very interesting interactions in gameplay, which is awesome to see. Well, that was Iron Lad and Kang the Conqueror, the 2 characters that were most recently revealed for Marvel Crisis Protocol from Atomic Mass Games. These are only 2 of the 4 characters that are going to be in this pack, so be on the lookout for our next video covering Ironmonger and Rescue when they are officially revealed. And if you don't want to miss that video, subscribe to the channel. But also, if you have any ideas on how you think you want to see these characters played, what affiliation you might be splashing these characters in, or what roster for Cabal you're thinking about running Kang with, I would love to see that in the comments below. Because hey, I'm going to be building these rosters in the future too, for the channel, for our battle reports in the future. Well, that's it, guys. I'm James from Midwest Protocol. Thank you so much for hanging out and learning all about Iron Lad and Kang the Conqueror. Hopefully you are as excited as I am. Now, let's get back to gaming.